Well, thanks everybody for dialing in today. And on the phone right now is myself, Kurt Kohler, and I'm sitting here with Ben Rainford.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Just to give you a quick introduction and history, I own gifts and things in the Little Shopper Shop. My family started the business back in 1976. Actually, tomorrow is our 45th anniversary, so we're very proud of that. And Ben and Steve Rainford that work with me here are actually my brother-in-law, so it's still very much a family company. We have a 72,000 square foot warehouse facility where all the product is picked, packed, and shipped from. So everything is handled by us, customer service, fulfillment. So you're dealing directly with the source here, not a middleman, and we're very proud of what we do and how we help our schools. What is a holiday shop? A holiday shop is a gift buying service for kids. We send the merchandise into the school. The volunteers set the merchandise up in the school. The children shop. When the sale's all done, you simply pack it up into few boxes as possible and you send it back to us. You only pay for the merchandise that you sell. There's no hidden costs or fees or shipping charges or anything like that. The whole thing is we try to keep it as simple as possible for you, the volunteers. And at this point, what are the three things that why we lead the industry, or what makes us different in the industry? And that is quality gifts, technology, and how we do make it easy. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Ben regarding our gifts.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kurt. So, almost the number one answer we always get from customers who are, looking to utilize a service like ours for their holiday shop is they want to know about the merchandise and, what makes us different than everybody else. And, the first thing I always say is, we are the only company in the industry that we design 100% of all the items. We work really hard to give our line of merchandise a real retail-y type feel. We want it to be something that the children are proud to bring home to, mom, dad, brother, sister, other loved ones. So we work really hard to, really make it feel that's something they can be proud to bring home. You'll see that Kurt's kind of diving through here, and you're going to see there's mom items, there's dad items, grandpa, aunt and uncle, brother, sister, even, family dogs and family cats. So we try to make it suitable for everybody. It's in that price point that's going to be suitable within a child's budget. 85% of the items are all less than $5. Every year we, again, redesign 100% of all the items. You're never going to see the same item twice. So what I mean by that is every year you're going to be receiving brand new, never opened, never seen before items from us. Why is that important? Because we want to show you everything that is going to arrive at the holiday shop. There's some companies out there, they're going to pepper it in with a few brand new items, and then they're going to load it up with a bunch of stuff that's been shipped into schools before. The packaging might be a little dog-eared. It might look like it's been shipped somewhere. Our philosophy is that we want it to look and feel like something brand new, like your children were shopping at a true retail type of location. So the merchandise is really important to us. I'll let Kurt get into what we feel also keeps us apart from the competition, and that's technology.
Yeah, Ben, as far as technology goes, again, we have developed a chairperson portal here for you guys. It's basically your home base. It gives you all the information you ever want to know about your holiday shop. So you log in, you have a username, password. You can share it with any co-chair people or anybody that helps you, or keep it to yourself, whatever you'd like. But in here is all the tracking information. You can place reorders, which we ship UPS next day air, and the tracking will fall in there. All the support materials are in there, starting worksheets, gift certificate sales, where you go to get your cash register app. At the end of the sale, you click on invoicing, and whether you're doing a count or a no count option, which we have both, it will automatically know that based on how we set everything up. So it really is your hub. We started that back in 2010, so we've been modifying that and working on that for over 11 years. So you'll find it's very user-friendly. The other thing we've had for almost just as long, we developed in 2011, was an app. And the app is a great tool for the volunteers, again, to make your jobs nice and simple. Basically, depending on whether your school chooses a 0, 10, or 20% markup, when you log into the app, you'll use your username and password again, and it will populate with your pricing. You'll see here this app is set up at a 10% profit. If you were a 0% profit, the pricing would adjust to that. If it was 20%, it would adjust to that. And if you said, no, we want to set our own prices, which we don't really recommend, but you can just because it's going to be a little bit more work for you along the way, you can do that as well. So anything's optional. All the items have codes on them, so you hit number 8 and up pops $3.25. You hit a 4 is a dollar item, and so on. The other thing that this allows you to do as well is you can actually accept credit cards. So if you run a night or a weekend sale, or if any of the volunteers ever want to buy anything, credit cards can be accepted as well. So the app makes it very simple. The nice thing about it too is typically the checkout is the bottleneck, and here you can have 3, 4, you have as many people checking students out at the same time as you'd like. Everybody just pulls out their iPhone or Android phone, and multiple people can check students out. So it really has alleviated the bottleneck in the holiday shop. And then the last thing that we have is we have gift certificates, and those are over here, and it really is part of the technology simply because people can go online, your families can go online the night before, the morning of the shop. A lot of families don't like to send their students to school with cash, or they don't have cash. We're more of a cashless society than ever. So you can go online, people can use their credit card, they can buy, you know, a $10 gift certificate for each one of their children or any denomination thereof. The other thing we have the ability of is you can, those families can also email a grandparent, an aunt, or an uncle, and the children can get sponsored. So a grandparent could buy the child a $10 or $20 gift certificate, whatever they choose. So the gift certificates are great. When they come into school, you treat them just like cash. They'll hand you the $10 gift certificate. If they only spent $9, you'd hand them $1 back. If a child was sick and wasn't able to come, we automatically attach all these gift certificates right to your account in the portal, and since we're collecting the $10, it'll automatically come off your invoice. So at any time, you know, you could refund the money on a gift certificate or whatever because you instantly get credit for those gift certificates, making it nice and easy. Speaking of easy at this point, we'll turn it over to Ben, and he can touch on some of the things that do make our shop nice.
Yeah, so, you know, the attention to detail is what we really pride ourselves in as well. You're going to notice right off the bat, you know, how easy we make it for you. The first thing that's going to arrive at the school is going to be your chairperson's kit. We're going to hand you, or we're going to supply you with your parent letters that are going to go home with the student to mom and dad explaining what a holiday shop is. They're also going to get hallway posters that you can hang in the school to promote your event.
Also, the parent letter is available in English or English and Spanish?
Yes. And we're also going to give you budget envelopes. The budget envelopes are a great tool for your students to sit down with mom and dad and determine who it is they need to buy for and what they're going to spend on each of those people. It's going to make your life a lot easier when those students come back into the school and start shopping, because you know you're going to have a list and you're not going to have a kindergartner standing in front of you like trying to figure out who it is they need to buy for. So that makes your life really easy. We have tent cards. This is probably one of the most popular things in our holiday shop. The tent cards are going to sit out with the merchandise, and depending on what markup you've chose, whether it's 0, 10, or 20%, those tent cards are going to come pre-priced for you. You're not going to be pricing the items and setting it out on the table. What's beautiful about those tent cards is they have a picture on the front and back of those items. So as you have volunteers in and they're trying to fill holes, maybe that there's not merchandise sitting there, you're going to know exactly what you need to go find backstock of to replenish your supplies. First thing that you're going to notice when the merchandise arrives at the school is each of our boxes has an inventory label on the outside of the box. So you're going to know what's inside of each box before you even open it. And then once you open up the box, you're going to see another inventory sheet on top. That inventory sheet is also going to have a picture of every item that's in that box. What's nice about that is you might not know what a Mom Forever necklace looks like until you've seen one, but you can match up that merchandise that's in that box with those pictures, and you'll know how many items of each are going to be inside of those boxes. So you're going to receive all your inventory sheets, your closing sale sheets. So we're going to supply you with worksheets to help count the merchandise at the end of your sale to make it nice and easy. Again, those correlate back to the chairperson's website that Kurt had talked about as well. So we give you everything you need to make your sale nice, super easy to run, and it's just laid out for you so you don't have to do the work on your own. So I think from there, we want to talk about a little bit how the shop works and, from the timeline of what you can expect when you work with us.
Yep. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in and answer them on the on the portal. And I'm going to go in right now to the three main options that we have available. Obviously, since COVID became part of our lives, we had to come up with different options, specifically more even last year than this year. But we have the traditional shop, and that's the one where the merchandise ships into the school, the volunteers set it up, the students walk through and shop, select the gifts, make purchases. Most schools run those 3 to 5 days. You can reorder each day during the sale, and then you pack it up and you send it on back. This year, unlike last year, where we probably had 80 to 90% of our schools running our virtual option, this year I would say 85 to 90% right now are on the traditional program.
I would agree with you.
And the other 15% are on the touchless and the virtual shop. The touchless is a good option for the schools that are allowing them in the schools, allowing them the volunteers in the school, but are still trying to be a little bit more cautious. What we're doing there is we're sending the merchandise into the schools. The volunteers set up the shop just like they do normally. The children come down, walk through, and preview the gifts. We supply you with an order form for the children. And as they walk by and preview, they mark on their order form which items they'd like to select for the shop. And at the very end, then they hand their order form over to the volunteer who rings them out. And then basically what happens is the children go back to the class, and the volunteers then pull each one of the orders individually and then turns them into the homeroom, and then brings them back to the homeroom once the orders have been pulled. Also on the traditional and touchless shop, what we're seeing a lot of schools doing so that they still do have a more traditional program is that we're finding a lot of schools that that aren't allowed to have volunteers into the school they're the ones that came to us and told us all about it, but some of them are taking it outside, and they're even just taking it right out into the entryway where it's covered, where the kids enter the school. They're setting the tables right outside the entryway, and the schools are allowing them to do it that way. Some are doing it in a courtyard or a playground. So PTOs and PTAs are pretty resourceful people. So they're teaching us how creative they're getting with different solutions. Another one.
Yeah, and Kurt, I was just talking to a couple schools recently. A lot of librarians have stepped up and said, we want to make sure that the kids have the opportunity to have a holiday shop this year, and we know we can't have volunteers. So they're offering it up to, set it up in the library and running it themselves. And I've even had some people, with some, folks who work in the cafeterias, they're willing to help out as well. So I think if you get creative, there's a lot of different options that are available to you when you can't have volunteers in the school.
Yeah. So I mean, again, fortunately, we're finding most schools across the country are allowing the volunteers are allowed in the school, but there's definitely pockets, and it's really states or areas or school districts that have made the policy where no volunteers are in. So there's options. Bottom line is, one option, like we just said, is you take it outside, find additional volunteers. School might allow touchless, and then we still do have the virtual option this year. And the virtual option is exactly like it sounds. We have a whole system where you sign up, we send you the virtual parent letter. We can do a traditional parent letter as well, but they might not want that either. But in the true virtual model, we email you the parent letter, which you then forward on to the families, post to your social media, but you ask the school to be able to send that parent letter off. It has a hot link right back to where the families get to shop. The families shop online, they pay for their gifts online, and the gifts are shipped directly to the student's home.
They never touch the school. Everything comes right from us, right to the students.
Correct. The only stipulation with a virtual sale is that we do ask that all orders are in-house by December 6th. We didn't have a problem last year, but what we did find is, and we had the same stipulation last year of December 6th, and it worked out, but The Postal Service makes us nervous. Shipping makes us nervous. So by having all those orders in-house by December 6th, it gives us a couple extra days to pack them, ship them, and then even with some of the delayed shipments, making sure that there's plenty of time there for the gifts to arrive to the students before the holiday. So that option is available. Next, we will go on to.
I guess what are the next steps? So if you decide that this is a program you want to run, and whether it's a traditional or a touchless sale, so the next step would be we'll get you signed up, and then typically this time of year, right around Halloween, end of October, early November, is when our chairperson's kits start going out to our groups. And inside, as I touched on before, that chairperson's kit is going to include your parent letters, your hallway posters, your budget envelopes, everything you need to promote the event. And then we try to get the merchandise in the schools roughly about 7 to 10 days prior to the start of your sale, unless there's special instructions that you have for us, and we can, we can always work around your schedule. So that's typically the time frame. Most groups will run their sale anywhere from 3 to 5 days, up to a week. So
there's a question here. One person asked was, when we showed the chairperson portal, what is a live worksheet tab? The live worksheet tab is right here. Your starting worksheet obviously is the starting inventory that you have. Live worksheet tab will update with any reorders you place during the sale. So it'll show you your starting inventory, and that's a fixated worksheet, so to say. The live worksheet will show your starting column with all your starting inventories, and then after every reorder you place, it'll show all of the reorders that you have placed for whichever items it is that you've done. So it'll have the starting column, it'll have reorder 1, reorder 2, reorder 3. Again, making it nice and simple that if you're doing a count inventory system, I guess, and we can touch on that real quick for those of you that do or don't know the difference. We have a count and a no count inventory option. Count meaning, we sent you 24 of this item, you reordered 6 and another 6 pieces, so now the live worksheet would show you that you had 36. But at the very end of the sale, we give you a piece of paper with all the mom's items, dad's items, and kids' items, again, with the image and the description. You just walk around your tables, you write down whatever the quantity is that you have left on the table of those items, and then you click on your invoicing button. It'll show your starting column and any reorder, so it'll have the total there, and then you simply just plug in how many pieces you're returning, and you hit calculate, and it'll automatically calculate your invoice for which items you sold. If you select and say, nah, we don't want to count the merchandise because we don't have enough volunteers or whatever, some people are like very OCD and want to be much in control, so there are obviously people that definitely do the count option, but if you say no, you can always select no count. When you click on the invoicing button in the no count option, you're still counting, but now you're just counting the cash that you've collected every day. So at the end of every day, you would write down how much money that you've collected. So if you started with $100 in change and at the end of the day you had $1,100, you obviously know you did $1,000 in sales in day 1. And day 2 maybe it was $1,000, and day 3 was $1,000. So you click on invoicing, and in there they'll have a day 1, day 2, day 3, and you just enter in your totals. So you'd enter in $3,000, and again you hit submit, and it automatically calculates your invoice based on that. Both options work whether you choose 0, 10, or 20% markup. Both options also take into account any gift certificates that are sold, and those show up there and give you credit for those on the invoicing tab. So I think and hope that gave you an answer.
Kurt, one quick question here on the chairperson website. And we touched on reorders, but I don't think what we got into was our philosophy on reorders. We allow you to make a reorder every single day of the sale. Our motto is that we want to make sure that your tables are full. So if you have students who shop on day 1, we want to make sure that those students who shop on day 2 have the same selection of merchandise. So you can place a reorder every single day of your sale. We're going to overnight those items so you have them for the next morning. So when you open up your sale, your tables are full.
Another great question here that came in online, and it says, as far as gift certificate goes, when they order and pay online, do they print out the actual gift certificate, or will it be on our phone or app or whatever so we can see if the child has a gift certificate? The answer is actually yes to both. when they buy the gift certificate, we actually have them print it out at home because it's something they're proud of and they're carrying it in, because other kids have cash in their hand. They have a gift certificate in their hand and they put it in their budget envelope. So it's, you know, a great way. It works along that way. But bottom line is, we also tell them that if they don't have a printer at home or the printer's broken or out of paper or whatever, it's not a problem, because yes, you as the chairperson will have this section right here that if you click here under gift certificates, it will list every child and the gift certificate they sold. So bottom line is, you know, if the child even got it and printed out a gift certificate, walks into school and loses the gift certificate, and they, you know, they're standing there in front of you saying, my mom bought me a $10 gift certificate and I lost it or whatever. No problem, you know, Benny. You go into your portal, you click or open the app, you can go into the chairperson portal, you click on gift certificate, and sure enough, you can see that, you know, Benny's parents bought him a $10 gift certificate. So that's the beauty of the technology. As well, in the same section is, if you do accept credit card, when you unlock your app, you're using your school ID and password that we provide you with, but and that's how it tracks it. But every time you do a credit card purchase, those fall into this section as well. So you'll have a real-time view of all gift certificates and all credit card sales that happen. And again, in both of those situations, we're collecting 100% of that cash. So those will then show up as a credit on the invoice to keep it, again, easy. We keep everything as simple and easy as possible so that you're not sitting there going, oh my God, I don't know if we lost any gift certificates or Jim, you know,
well, and that
answers
a great question too, Kurt. So the gift certificates, we always get asked, well, what happens if Johnny comes in and has a $20 gift certificate and only spends $18? You're simply going to give him $2 of change because you're going to get a full credit for that $20 gift certificate that he brought in.
Yep. So that there's a, trying to see here. Okay, sorry, there we go.
So the first question, how about check payments?
Should there be only one cashier, or can 2 volunteers be cashiers? There can be multiple volunteers because bottom line is, it's like going to Walmart. We have bonuses that we'll touch on real quick, but one of the things is the use of the app, and the app can't be understated or overstated how useful that is. So in a lot of cases, schools will have 2 and 3 people checking students out simultaneously, because if old school was, we'd send you in a cash register and all 30 kids would line up behind that one cash register, and it's like going to Walmart and only having one checkout lane open. It becomes the bottleneck. With the cash register app, multiple volunteers can run it on their phone. Of course, you're only going to have volunteers doing the checkout that you trust, so it's going to be the group that pretty much does everything. So yes, that's not a problem. How about a check payment? Yep. At the end of the sale, you're just going to write a check to send it in. That was a question. Do you suggest combining touchless and virtual and traditional, or better to pick only one? The reality of it is you want to make a decision. You want to do either traditional or touchless. I mean, the only difference between traditional and touchless from a material standpoint is that order form we provide you with. So you can sign up for touchless but not even use that option if you don't want, but you would pick one or the other. As far as virtual goes, students that are allowed to shop traditionally are the ones that are going to want to go through. So that's typically the case there.
I think we got that one, Kurt.
We got those 2. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here. As far as gift certificates, when they order or pay online, do they print? Oh, I already did that one.
Yep, I think we got them all.
And Joanne, so thank you for the answer to that. So yes, I think I'm caught up. Sorry about that. I wanted to catch up with all the questions. But yeah, benefits and bonuses. Didn't get there yet, so let's get there, and we're going to wrap this up quickly. So again, type in any questions, but we're trying to keep this to a half an hour for everybody. Bottom line is, our bonuses are good through October 31st, so you're still plenty of time here. A couple days through the weekend or whatever it happens. I forget when it falls, but next 3-4 days, you can sign up and you'll still receive all of our bonuses. Most popular by far is the 150 Little Shopper Shop dollars. 150 little Shopper Shop dollars are little monopoly money that we will send into the school, and they can be handed out to any children specifically that need a little extra shopping assistance. So if children come down, what you can do is ask the teacher who maybe needs a little assistance. And it's Kurt and Ben and Steve, and you as a volunteer can then say, hey, we're going to do a drawing, and miraculously Kurt, Ben, and Steve win, and you hand each one of the children in that homeroom $2, $3, $4 out of your 150 little Shopper Shop dollars. So those are always a great option, because the children aren't being forced to go over to like a side table where you have freebie stuff or whatever. They're going to walk right through the middle of the shop like every other child and be able to experience the shop with those free dollars that you've given to them. Another option is for schools that are more interested in profit. You could choose the 5% additional profit. So in it, say you pick the 10 or the 20% profit. In addition to your 10 or 20%, you'd get an extra 5. So if you're at 20, now you'd be at 25% profit on your sale. So that's simply how that works. The other option you could select is a carnival kit. That's $300 worth of children's merchandise that we would send into the school. And it's great for carnivals, got you for being good box or anything like that, you know, teacher gifts, things like that, that can be handed out to the students. The other option is the old school pre-programmed coded cash register rental, where we will actually pre-program it with your markup 10 or 20%. You'll have a cash register there, the kids come through, and you'll check them out that way. Again, we've been doing those for 40 years or 45 years. But they're much, much less popular today than they ever have been, just because of technology and the fact that with the app you can check out multiple students at a time. So there's your bucks, an image of the 350 little Shopper Shop dollars, your 5% additional profit you can select as a bonus, the carnival kit, or the pre-coded cash register. And you get to choose one of those bonuses. So whichever one you're interested in is, sorry, I'm trying to look, I got another question here. So yes, you get to select any one of those bonuses. If, you know, after this and you've talked to whoever it is that you need, we have that button that says sign up now. And in here you can sign up for the traditional shop, the touchless shop, or the virtual shop. Again, once you, let's just say you want to go sign up for the traditional shop, you're going to find that we do have a downloadable agreement if you needed to take it somewhere and show it to anyone, so you can print it out if you choose to. Obviously, in today's world, most people just fill this out. You would just simply go on here and you type in Lincoln Elementary, and it's going to start listing, like, the closest one to us is in Emmaus. You know, it knows that. And that'll pre-populate in your school information for you. Then if you can just type in how many students you have in your school, principal name, phone number, has your shop done a sale before, yes or no? If yes, how much have you paid a previous or collected in the past? That's obviously very good information for us, because then it helps us get a baseline of where you've been. And if you did a virtual shop last year, but you're going back to traditional this year, really the number we'd want to know is what you did during a traditional environment, not vice versa, because the numbers are going to be extremely different. And how many days you were selling. Then you're going to tell us how you plan on running your sale. Obviously, this is a traditional contract, so you would check during school hours, weekend and after hours, or weekends to let us know. Date that the sale is supposed to start and end, so we know the number of days selling. Last day before Thanksgiving. This just helps us know to make sure if we're sending merchandise in, to not send it in over the Thanksgiving break. And if you know the date you're returning from Thanksgiving, not as important, but helpful. As well as these dates, if you don't have 100% of you, if you don't know your dates 100%, you can fill out these agreements and leave any part of it blank for right now and get back to it later. Then here, what you're going to do is you're going to select, do you want to do a count inventory program at 0, 10, or 20%, or set your own prices, or a no count inventory option at 0, 10, or 20%. Remembering, like we said, the 0, 10, and 20, with those we provide you with the 10 cards with the images and the prices all printed on there. If you go down the road of setting your own prices, you then have to mark up every single item and be responsible for that. So just keep that in mind. And then under parent letters, you're going to let us know if you want to pick English or bilingual. And then under other details, this is where you just want to write in which bonus you want. Then you're going to put in your contact information or anybody else in the PTA that we should know about and sign the contract at the bottom.
And yes, Kayla, we will be posting this, we'll be reaching out with this webinar posted. So.
Yep, that was a question Kayla just had for us. At this point, that pretty much wraps everything up. If anybody has any additional questions, please type them in there. Or, again, Ben and I are available by phone. You can call. You can call us at 1-800-468-7511. 1-800-468-7511, or send us an email at info@gntinc.com. Just call in or dial the number that you see here and ask to speak to Kurt or Ben, and we can answer any additional comments, questions, anything like that you want. But I think we did a good job of keeping it at 30 minutes. Again, thank you all very much for taking the time to learn about our program today. And please reach out to us with any question. We'd obviously love to work with your organization this year. And
yeah, no, thank you guys. We appreciate it. And again, we're always available for phone calls. And if you can't get one of us in the office, somebody in the office is always more than happy to help you out. So
super. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.